where you want to go, and basically trying to achieve in that state of mind. So, so, okay, so that's the kind of like the general kind of like a bigger picture of the way the meditation that I conduct and I trying to introduce. Okay, now. Now, now this. Now I'll go a little bit kind of like a philosophy aspect of the meditation, or the. Okay. So there is some effort to defining what is a meditation. Okay, how we define meditation. I think this is a good question. I think it would be good to, like in Zen tradition or Theravadan tradition or Tibetan tradition or any tradition, to how they define meditation. What means a meditation? And that's the one layers, and another layers. I think, and then it's come specific, like mindfulness meditation. Then is a very specific meditation. Okay, so here in my tradition, in a way, teacher used to. I think the meditation is not only Buddhist practice. This is in India, ancient India, it's practiced by also in Hinduism, meditation practice. So, in a Buddhist meditation, from the way I understood and the way my teachers told me, is so much related with a motivation. Okay, when you say meditation, what you're trying to do is trying to work with your motivation. And why it's going with the motivation? I was kind of first this kind of ready-made kind of theory. I was not able to understand this ready-made kind of answer. Okay, meditation means transform your motivation. So really, when I looked at much more deeper into it, I felt almost our human motivation is a source of a human awareness. So that intention or that motivation, the meditation is not to take care of the symptoms of the afflictions, and the meditation is to take care the transform or overcome this root of that symptom. So when you look into the symptoms, like we have a specific intention, so we have a different behaviors, and behaviors are the kind of like the symptoms of that motivation. So our meditation is trying to take care of the symptoms, or our meditation should be working with the root. So from this theory point of view, is the emphasis is much more close to the root. And of course, generally, you need to take care of the symptoms, also you need to take care of the root. Of course, there's both, but the emphasis is much more comes to the taking or the transforming the root. The meditation is to transform the motivation. So in a minor tradition or Tibetan Buddhism tradition, very much emphasis all the time. When you sit down, first you sit down, do the Der-chuen posture, and once you sit down, and there's a specific instruction, say, look at your intention, look into your motivation, what's going on there, okay? And looked at it, and it's also emphasized, then you need to really transform, you need to really intentionally put a positive thought, intentionally planting positive thought. So this is kind of like a there is this kind of like a repetition that making intentionally effort, kind of like trying to planting the positive intention. That's kind of like there is this kind of like a routine was built in a part of the meditation. So from this perspective, meditation theory, from this perspective, is that once you kind of like introduce for your mind or planting this positive thought constantly, forcefully, you can reduce all the symptoms of the afflictions. So, so this is a slight difference. Like today's mindfulness meditation, not necessarily emphasize that you need to forcefully planting the positive thoughts. Won't really do that. It is a much more kind of like a let go and kind of like an ease and accept and respect and generating compassion for yourself, and through that, and then you kind of open more further. And I think that's a beautiful method. But now, now when you're looking for those two traditions, here is one tradition says very strictly, okay, once you sit down, this is the instruction. You have to go forcefully, regardless, even though it doesn't work at the beginning. You have to like do it again, make it habit. Now here, mindfulness approach. There's how to say. Let me put it this way. My main question is. My question is this way or that way can be both way. Is not like you have to either you do this way or either you do mindfulness way. I don't think so. It's that kind of rigid. Even in my tradition, there's this kind of like a force. Do it repeatedly. Plant these positive thoughts and seeds in your mind to able to do that successfully, able to plant that seed into your awareness. I think mindfulness method have to be integrated. Okay, very important. But of course, the instruction that I'm getting is a very old tradition. Maybe we need to understand lots of meditation instruction, the time, the audience, and which kind of lifestyles living at that time. So we need to sometime, this is existing, this text, so this is what it is. It shouldn't be that way. So maybe in early that time, like for example, the breathing meditation in an early meditation instruction in my tradition is a very little emphasis. It's almost, when you look at it, during that period of time, people have a kind of very calm state of mind. They are very conducive state of a mind. So then why we have to have this breathing meditation is just kind of like it was like unnecessary, because their time and that period of time, people's minds and awareness are much more conducive and much more kind of ready to go to the actual meditation. So therefore, this in my tradition, this in meditation instruction, is a breathing meditation was like, if you're necessary, then do it. If not necessary, just leave it. Okay. Also like very little emphasis, and breathing meditation is almost like a trick in the instruction. It's like is present as this breathing meditation is like a trick, is a trick. How is a trick? Is in some of the instruction that in my tradition they mention, if you want to get the person who are on the horse, but okay, this person on the horse, you want to get him down. If you're just trying to jump in him, maybe difficult. Just basically you catch the horse, what you call the leash, the range. like a leash. Once you catch that, you can take that person wherever you want. So breathing meditation is almost emphasis something like that. That, when you're trying to do meditation, meditation is really about the mind. You are trying to train with your mind. But mind is so wild and so untamed and so difficult to reach. So at this moment, what we can reach as like the leash of the horse, we can reach the breath. And the breath, the wind element, and the consciousness almost considered as a horse and the person who rides the horse. Okay, so is something like that. Is emphasis is like almost like a trick. And also, so anyway, my key thing is, if is necessary, then although in the text it says very necessary or not necessary, very optional, I think it's the time and space period of time. In today's world, that we're living into very speed, very fast, kind of that kind of living, distractions is a very, strong. Okay, so I think that basically combination of that kind of mindfulness, just let going and gentleness towards to yourself, and compassion towards to yourself, kind of acceptance towards to yourself, based on that, and then kind of like a forcefully repeating, a repetition, mental repetition, not mantra repetition, but the mental repetition of that positive thought, mental repetition of a positive thought. Okay, so now here, mantra repetition, you can do it, but how are we going to do a mental repetition? This is again, this is where it becomes how I can sit and repeat one kind of positive thought that I can kind of go on and make it very strong, and make it is kind of like a, which really kind of takes the, almost, if I can forward, charge of my life, this positive thoughts, taking a charge of my life. Of course, to take a charge of my life, I have to be a very strong part of myself. So here, mental repetition, when it comes to mental repetition, so here in my tradition, I'm saying too much my tradition. Too egotistical. Okay. Anyway, the tradition that I trained, we call like two types of meditation. Single-pointed meditation and analytical meditation. Okay. Again, of course, all of my students, they say analytical meditation drives them crazy. They don't want to do it. Is too much. Is thinking. I don't need more thinking. Is too much thinking, and that's very, 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 very true. Okay, so. Now, basically, I think this whole kind of like we need to see as like a medicine. This time of medicine that may be suitable this period of time. Then time medicine maybe not so good now. Kind of linear. From kind of time kind of journey. In the same way, I think. Maybe, so sometimes the complex is, most of the meditators are part-time meditators.